nice bud in the middle right there.
Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to Temple 420. It's Sabbath Sesh 34. We're here with quite a few people here today. We've got Victoria, Jay, Amanda, and Craig, of course, here for coming together on the Sabbath and discussing the things that God's done for us this week and the things He'll do for us and His blessed word. I'll start off here with a prayer for everybody, and then we'll get into the stuff for the day. Dear Almighty God, above all gods, Hashem, thank you for all you've given us, Elohim, all that you do for us and helping us through the week and helping us see the good things and the struggles through the week and know that we should continue to follow your word and do the blessed things in your sight. May today be an encouragement for those who attend and those watch and they seek after you.
Amen.
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 All right. So, Jay, you said you were reading the Bible this week?
No, actually, I was the only one. I don't think who commented.
Oh, okay.
But I did.
Man,
Actually the Torah portion. I'm up to speed,
on the
energetically.
Parsha?
Like, yeah, I think it's what I find interesting is to connect to what goes on, and I think when you connect to the energy of it, and then you start looking what's happening in society, it kind of reflects it. So, if since you called on me, I'll make it simple. So this is the Parsha, it's Tavo. This is where Moses is the first time he instructs the Israelites regarding the first fruit offerings. And then he also lists the blessings and the commandments. But here's what's really interesting is he introduces the punishments for disobeying them. It's the first time in the Torah that we talk about consequences, if I may paraphrase. So I think it's a bit collaborate. Well, I think it's in line kind of what's going on. If we can speak about spiritually the ills we're all facing instead of politically and all that other stuff. So yet there's a divide, but yet if we take the energy and what it's teaching us, I think it's showing us a structure in society right now. And if you notice, there are many people that are woke, like woken up in terms of getting it, and many people are just following like sheep. So punishments can also be perceived as discipline, structure. But it's interesting that right now we are facing severe punishments in society as we just trash on each other and separate. So that's my 2 cents of what I'd like to add.
All right. I'd like to add something to that. I think one of the things that Jesus said is that, or Yeshua, the Messiah, he said that he's not here to unite people, but actually to divide people and separate the sheep
Really?
from the goat. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Um,
powerful.
yeah, and it is interesting because we just think of him as some loving guy who's always trying to bring people together, almost
Yeah.
getting back to Charlie Kirk and the events of the week, kind of like he did. He really tried to bring people together, but I think at some point there does need to be a separation between the sheep and the goat. And in the book of Revelation, it says, let people continue to do evil who do evil, and let people who do good continue to do good. So there is division in the world. There always has been. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think sometimes you know who you are by who your enemies are. And we can kind of say, oh, well, look at what they do and look at how we try to be different. And yet at the same time, we should always forgive and leave that space for opening, because it's about a relationship and with you and God and with you and other people.
That's nice. Can I add something instead of enemies? I think if we look at science and you look like what's in motion stays in motion,
Inertia.
having right. Thank you. I was trying to just keep it simple. You brainiac. So I wasn't good in my SATs, especially the English. Anyway, so you got me off track. The
You said
point
instead of enemies.
instead of enemies. So my point is, I think it's to have healthy agreements to disagree and to be able to come to a place where there's unifying energy, because that's where the real gifts come from. If you think about what, like, we go back to the diamond, what is how are diamonds produced? The more pressure. So what's interesting is in the Parsha, it also talks about the tithing laws, both for the crops and how to support the Levites and the poor, and also it talks about the importance of identifying and having appreciation for God's miracles and not to forget them. So if we look at what's going on, it totally lines up spiritually, like with the challenges and the struggles and I mean, it's become almost electric. Like people are just leaning into it, which makes me believe it's like totally intentional. I'm sorry to say I've been around too long. And I think if you start looking at the obvious, is there's something bigger at play, unfortunately.
Hmm.
That's my 2 cents.
Okay. And Chapin, what have you been reading in the Bible this week?
Mostly I attended Tavo too in the Jewish mystic church that I've been following off of with it too. And that was interesting because it also has the curses in there
Yeah,
with that too.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was interesting with that. And then Judith for the Bible study. Me
The
and
book
Victor.
of the book of Jude or Judas from the New Testament?
Judith.
Oh,
The,
Judith.
yes.
The book
It's
of Jude.
Judith as in the lady's name or Judas?
The lady.
Judith, the lady's name. Are you
And
familiar
is
with
it
the book of Judith?
me?
Yeah.
Hell no. Sorry. I mean, I don't mean it like that. Like, I love learning new stuff. I didn't even know there was a name like that. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was a sacred Jewish Bible or Jewish text, and she was a woman who was very wealthy. She was a widow, and she was very beautiful, even though she was older. And when the
Uh-huh.
enemies of the Israelis came to sack Jerusalem, they came to her because they knew she was such a spiritual woman, and they had said, "We're going to refrain from fighting and put it in God's hands, but we're only going to give God 7 days, and then we'll either give up." I think they were going to surrender to the enemies. And Judith said, "Don't test God in that way. Don't give him a time limit." She said, "Trust him." And then
Right.
she's like Esther. She told
Yeah.
everyone to fast and pray for her. And what she
Right.
did is she went with her servant to the enemy's camp. And she was so beautiful. She came unarmed that the foreign general was so impressed by her. And she brought food and wine, and she wined and dined the general. And he was hoping to.
The power of seduction right there.
Right. And he was hoping to seduce her, and he allowed her to sleep in his tent, and she didn't sleep with him, but she slept in his tent, and in the middle of the night she cut his
Uh,
head off. And
there you go.
when the enemy had
There
seen
you go.
that their
Jesus
lead
Christ, man.
general had lost his head and died, they lost the will to fight, and they went away. And so the people were saved because of Judith. And so that's why it's a sacred text.
That's interesting. And
Didn't know
again,
the
like, I'm
ending.
sorry, no disrespect to the young lady on the phone, but women are evil, dude. Fuck.
Well,
God
it's
damn.
it's interesting you say that, because we're all going through difficult times in
Right.
relationships. Me for custody, you for custody. And I know one of the reasons Amanda joined us today is because she's having a challenge in her relationship. And I said, hey, join us, and let's be part of this discussion. So you want to have a turn to talk, Amanda?
Yeah, I am having a really difficult time in my marriage. And I'm really looking for any help, guidance, wisdom, because I love my husband, but I don't know where to go from here.
I think that's a start, to try and we've all of us, well, not all of us, but Jay, me, and Chapin have all had relationships end in our lives. So, and it's difficult.
I'm in the
Just
heat. I'm in the heat of the battle, getting my fucking balls fed to me, if I may say bluntly.
um,
I don't know.
well,
I don't mean to be that blunt. So you're welcome here, and thank you for your courage, by the way,
Yeah.
Amanda. And you said you don't know where to go. You did like. You're lucky you met Craig, because you'll see your interconnection with God is why you where to go, and you'll find it from there. That's all I can share.
that's all I say too, and I don't have the specific answers, but I thought, hey, if she could join us here and we could all talk about
Yeah, yeah.
God and getting a better relationship with Him, that hopefully the guidance will come to you, uh, whether through us, through the
Ah.
Bible, or just being part of a community of supporting people. And I just pray that whatever the answer is that you find it and are able to save your marriage, because going through a separation, as we can all attest to, is expensive, is unsatisfying in some ways. And when you can come back together and make it work through the challenges, there's a certain growth and connection we feel to God, just like He forgives us for our sins and mistakes. Hopefully that power of finding wholeness and bringing it together without having to separate would give you some strength. Victoria, can you add anything to that? You might be on mute, Victoria.
Yeah. I don't see a video. Maybe she's
Can you
not
hear me
there.
now?
Yes,
Yes.
now we
Okay,
can.
sorry. My screen shut off, but anyways, yeah, I've never been married. So I just want
You're
to say that.
smart.
Um,
Smart.
however, it's okay. I have been in a 6-year relationship with my children's father. I don't really know if that, I mean, I know it's not the same, but um I would say that I know that God is the source. He's where our help comes from. And just I don't know if you already have been, but I just suggest really just leaning into Him and asking for wisdom and help, and asking God to, help you guys, and just trust that He will guide you in wherever you're supposed to go, whatever you're supposed to do. And um, I would like for all of us to pray for you at the end, or whenever, I don't know. But yeah, I'll keep you in my prayers.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you're going through that.
Amen. Amen, sister. Well said.
Yeah.
I think with relationships with both my family, my relationships, sometimes I've found that being the bigger person and just being forgiving and helpful
Yeah.
uh, helps mend the relationship. Like when my brother and I used to fight, I used to sometimes just be like, all right, I'm going to be his friend now. I'm going to really be there for him. I'm going to really, try and just be a good example by being
Yeah.
a better person myself. And then I found that sometimes he would kind of just notice energetically that I was being more kind and helpful, and then we would come together in a way where we could play together and find fun things to do to reconnect, and then
Yeah.
whatever was that issue from behind would kind of pass away and we just rebond. And I
That's
know
awesome.
that's with my brother as a kid, but it's still relationship wise, finding play and funness helps create a bond again.
That's good.
You're such a good soul, Craig. Man, you're such a sweet dude. I want to like give you a kiss. You really, no, you really are. There's like some, and I think when I hear you speaking, what I feel is a gentleness and a kindness. And I think if anything, if I've learned anything, if I may inject, is I didn't know how to love myself. So now it's about a gentleness and a kindness.
Yeah.
And it's hard to sit still. And I think for me, I can speak, that's where God is. And it's takes a lot of work to get to the point to be able to sit still, to like really feel that direction and guidance.
For
Yeah,
sure.
And
I really agree with that too. Is
and
God is in
honestly,
the silence.
sorry, and I keep hearing Craig speaking of obviously you love him, but if I may say something, and I don't want to rock the boat, but maybe it's time to let go. I don't know. Maybe it's not what you think, and maybe part of the process is you're going to have to let go and see really what's there. You know?
well, I don't think unless there's abuse,
Yeah,
physical abuse or
yeah,
cheating, that you should give up. I think
yeah.
if the
Hold on,
just the
wait, hang on. I didn't say give
okay.
up. I just said to let go for God, to
Oh
see
yeah,
Mm,
really where you land. Because I'm not a
yeah.
proponent. I can listen. I can only speak for myself. I didn't. You can only do for yourself and take care of yourself and love yourself. You can't do for your partner. And if it's not there, the more you push, the more you're going to give up of yourself and your soul and will only hurt you. And that's my view.
Sometimes, unfortunately, fans the flames too. You've really got to
Yeah.
get in
Yeah.
with God.
And
And
that's what I mean by letting go, Craig. I didn't say give up. I didn't say
okay.
any of the above. I
Okay.
think to be truly in God's hands, you got to let go, man, because we have our own agenda. And with all fairness, who says we have a clue?
I think the thing is too is that I do understand what you're saying about letting go and let God, because I don't really know where your husband is at as far as spiritually, but we are. I don't really know. Like, does it count not being equally yoked after you're married? I think it's important really to get God's input and really, like you said, just sit in the stillness and
Yeah.
and let God minister
Yeah.
to you
Yeah.
and just go where he wants you to go. And I know that's
Ma-
hard to say, I know, but
Yeah.
the longer that you seek him and the more you seek him, the more he's
Yeah.
going to his presence is going to be with you. Does that make sense? I don't know. Am I saying it right?
I'm with you. It doesn't matter. Like I feel you. And that's it. And that's what I said, Craig, is just make the space. That's it.
Okay.
Really is
All right.
what I'm saying.
Well, I feel like we cut Chapin off, but I want to add something real
Sorry,
quick,
bro.
Chapin.
Sorry.
Okay. Here's what I found one time too. I was feeling like uncared for and unappreciated. And then I looked at Jesus being a servant to his disciples, how he washed their feet and took care of them. And he was saying, what we need to do is be happy slaves. Um, and it'll change our mind. So what I started doing was more things around the house. Like if I saw anything that needed done, I would do it, and I would do it with a happy, positive attitude, like I was doing it for Jesus. But I think that the family appreciated the extra work I put in, the positive attitude that I had, and I found that that helped restore my relationship in some way. And so that's what I found when I was going through similar things, and it really helped rebuild the relationship. And then I was more satisfied that I was getting more stuff done around the house and for the family. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's something that I found.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
very good. Yeah, mine were kind of rough to kind of figure out with that. It was two marriages of 8 years, and then they ended up being done with it and out. So it's kind of hard. I didn't really have a way to balance and take care of that. I just had to seek out God and use him to help me through it and go the best way that I could. So
Can I ask a question? Because I feel like it's a bit vague and you're new to the group. What is the situation? May I ask you a personal question, Amanda?
Sure.
You said you love your husband. So what's on the other side that you're struggling with? What's he going through, or where's the disconnect?
Um, just uh resistance, I guess.
What does it look
Not
like? He's not loving
Yeah.
you. He doesn't like, is he cheating? God forbid. Like
I
what's
don't
going on?
I don't think he's cheating. It's a
If you
lot of
have to
it is
say, don't
financial
think. Yeah, sorry.
financial stuff. I try to help him and he doesn't want the help. Um it's it's blaming me for everything wrong.
Ooh, ooh,
Um
ooh.
when we do fight, he won't speak to me. If he does, it's very little. It's just a lot of resistance, a lot of not wanting to listen to anything that I suggest, or, a know-it-all attitude, I guess.
Mm.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for 8 years, together for almost 14. And
I can really, I
it's
really
just
hear your
it's a
pain. I'm
pattern.
sorry.
As
Yeah.
long as I feel like I just shut my mouth and go along with everything, everything's okay. But as soon as I say something that he doesn't agree with, or it's just a fight. I mean, it's a fight.
Hard. That's hard, sis.
Ramses, come here.
You're in the right place. You're safe. We hold you
Yeah.
collectively and individually. You're in the right place.
Yeah, we love you, girl.
Thank you.
As a sister of, as a sister, we love you. And I pray that God does lead you and help you and give you strength during this time,
I think I might have something to add here. I think that most marriages in America do break up because of financial stresses, and so that it's not uncommon. What you're going through is something very common, and
Yeah.
I can relate to having had recent financial struggles and not wanting help, not wanting to talk about it, kind of closing off, and um, and I don't and when I was going through that, because it's kind of emasculating to have um, your woman be there to support you, and even though it's hey, we're all in this together, it sometimes feels like, oh, I'm not doing my job and you're not good. He's feeling maybe he's not good enough because of those financial struggles, and maybe communicating to him without, whether he says something back or not, just, hey, I understand what you're going through. I know this is a difficult time, and that financial things are the reason most people end relationships, especially in the West, in America. But I'm here for you. If you want to talk, I'm here anytime you want, and you can explain to me what I can do to be supportive, without having to say, oh, I'm here to help and coming up with a solution or an answer, but just giving him that space to communicate, so he feels safe to communicate. Because as a man, you feel, if all of a sudden I say, look, I'm really struggling, I'm having a hard time, these are some of the challenges I'm facing, it's not easy to communicate those things, especially when you feel like you should be the one being the provider, being the strong one. And recently, when my son passed away, I, I would quit smoking for like 4 or 5 months, cannabis, and all of a sudden I felt like I needed to be there for everyone, and I tried to stay strong for like 6 weeks. And as soon as my wife started feeling better, I smoked like a chimney for like a month straight, and was very reclusive, and didn't communicate, and it was a real challenge to overcome that and feel like I was coming back, because I wasn't providing enough for my family at the time, and it was very hard for me, and I really didn't want to say anything or communicate anything. So I understand what your husband's feeling, and I don't want to say, oh, you're doing something wrong or anything, but I'm just saying that if you communicate with him and give him the space, that it might make him more communicative, and you'll feel closer if he can share with you some of the burdens that he's facing trying to take care of the family. Do you want to listen?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the other microphone.
Can I inject
Okay.
something, Craig? Because
Sure.
I have to say that's nice, but I feel something adamantly different, and I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead.
And
No,
this
no,
is
I'm
where
sure
we can.
Amanda wants to hear it all, and then she can decide what's best for
No, I'm
herself. I'm just
sensing,
telling you
because
that was
I
my
heard the pain
experience.
in her voice, and I'm sensing much different, especially the seat I'm sitting in, what I've been through. And it sounds like self-love needs to step in, and this guy
Hey,
needs to
Albert.
learn how to
Could you go
love
to
his wife, or she's going to have to make sure he understands that he's going to lose her. I think although your story's nice, Craig, and it's sensitive, I don't sense the same with this situation, if I may be honest. What she just said and how she talks to her, why should she go to him? He like this sounds like that's nice, but since when is shutting down like all these emotionally reclusive situations and like she's there for the guy and the guy, okay, I get it too. I've been through it, but doesn't give us the right to act like an asshole and treat people rudely. I'm sorry, I don't agree with the same. And it sounds like, if I may say, Amanda, that you're a very, very sweet lady, but some of the self-love of stepping up and learning how to speak back might be part of what's lacking is like this guy sounds a little too arrogant. Like I don't like what I sense if I may be
I
really
mean,
honest.
I definitely I'm not perfect. I mean, I
No,
do speak my mind, but
see
it's
what I mean? But no, this guy, like, okay, you should speak your mind. And what is you're a woman and you have an energy and a strength, and he's shutting you down. I'm
and and
sorry, I can
and that's what
sense it
I
ahead
try
of
to
you.
approach him with the thought that this finances is something that I'm really good at. I'm really good at budgeting, saving money, you know, and
Yeah.
he just fights me every step of the way and then gets himself into these financial situations that I have to bail him out of. And
Does he
it's like, when
gamble?
is enough enough?
Does he gamble?
Yeah. Yeah. I did
Here,
recently
Craig.
find out that he was gambling a lot.
I knew it, Craig. Thank you. And can I can sense it. I knew it. I smelt it. This dude
And
is insecure. He's hiding something. When I asked you if your husband's cheating, for a wife to hesitate, with all due respect, that's when I could feel like there's no wife in the world who doesn't know her husband. And the fact that you hesitated, I could smell a rat. I'm sorry. That's my instincts.
I mean, I don't know if he is cheating physically. I mean, I know that when I found out about the gambling, because we keep our finances separate and kind of try to split everything down the middle. And when
Why?
I
Why,
finally
if you're a
opened those,
married couple, if you're a married couple, why are they separate? I'm sorry to be that.
I've tried um to put everything together, and he just refuses. He'll put in the
Mm,
joint account what he wants to put in there. I don't know.
mm,
I've tried. I'm all
mm,
for putting everything together and growing together, and I I
mm-hmm. I
it's
knew it, Craig. I knew
it's
it. Sorry,
just
Victoria. You want to chime
Yeah.
in?
Oh, well, I have to be honest. I see truth in both of your guys's advice. Oh man.
See through? What do you mean see through? What
No,
does
I
that
see.
mean?
I understand pieces of both of your guys' advice. Is what
Ah,
I'm
got
saying.
it. Got it. Got
I
it.
don't really know personally him, or I do feel like I just feel sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. I feel like compassion towards, what's your name, Amanda? Amanda.
yeah.
I feel compassion towards you, and I have been in a similar situation with a guy who, my baby daddy, who is very like a brick wall and kind of hard headed, and my opinion was never valid. It was never valuable, and I don't know. But then I think like even now we're really good friends now, and I'm like, what would have happened if I would have? I don't know if you pray for him or what exactly you do. Do you pray for him, or is this kind of all new for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but
Okay.
I got away from that a long time ago because I just don't believe in the Catholic faith
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. I
And
don't blame you.
when I first met Craig, um, we talked about, I'm just recently within the past, I'd say 6 months, on a spiritual journey. My
Okay.
youngest daughter is very involved in the church, and she has been wanting me to join her. And I've just been on my own journey to see what that looks like for me. And
Okay.
I'm
Good
Okay.
for
open.
you.
I'm open
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for
to.
you.
I really think like maybe if you just gave it maybe like one last chance. I don't know, like maybe just really just lean into God, like Craig is saying, and just kind of serve Him and just try to give it your all one last time. And if that, if God says, no, this is not where you need to be, then, then you have to take the leap of faith and understand that God, will take care of you. But like I said, maybe give it one last chance and just really just come to these meetings and really read your Bible and really start spending time in the secret place, where it's like you're by yourself and you're just trying to seek God and ask for wisdom. I think it's worth one last, at least one last shot. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
How did it go when you guys went to North Carolina with the family? Did you guys have a nice fun weekend together?
Yeah, we did. But we went to Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm.
But
Was that
then
Kentucky?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And then when we came back, I had found out he had not made his car payment that was due on the 1st, and my name is on that loan, and then he started just blaming me. I made him go down there, and it's just always my fault somehow.
Is Christian working right now, or what's he doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's just not managing his money. He's making enough, but he's just managing it poorly.
I don't know, because he's very secretive for what he makes. So like I said, we have a joint account. He will put money in there for the utilities. But other than that, I don't really know too much. I know about a couple months ago, I was trying to get him again to let me kind of manage the finances, and I know he has a bunch of credit card debt, and so I know how much credit card debt he has, but other than that, I don't really know what's coming in and what's going out for
Right.
him.
Can I, may I don't mean to be so strong, but I have to say, my instincts and intuition, Craig, you know me damn well. I don't hear what you guys hear, and I hear her voice, and I hear a pattern, and I think the chance you give him is you love yourself, and then you connect to God, and then you'll see. That's what I meant. I could feel it,
Yeah.
Craig. I don't like I mean, come on, I know guys, and I don't mean to be harsh, but you can hear it in her pattern. The guy's lying to her. He's secretive.
Right.
The guy, when he gets touched on it, he attacks and get defensive.
Right.
Those are patterns of someone who has something to hide, who's lying. I live in a world where I've experienced it in my face, man. If you don't love yourself and you don't move quickly, I'm not saying you, I'm saying one in general, because you're in a place, I hear you as a woman, as a wife, he's keeping you out. There's no way to have a marriage without communication, respect, and trust. I don't hear any of that. With all due respect to all of you guys, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but my instincts are screaming.
Okay, well then here's the thing. What's your suggestion for rebuilding a bond and trying to create
You guys again are wrong. Again, she has to love herself. She
right?
is on a spirit. Stop with the she needs one more chance. He needs a chance. If he's lucky, I'm sorry, the tables have got to turn. You guys gonna with all due respect, if you want to turn the tables for you and yourself, regardless of what's going to happen with him, you're going to have to love yourself, because I don't sense what you guys sense, and my instincts ain't wrong. I'm sorry to tell you, especially what I've been through and what I'm going through and how connected I am and how attunely aware I am. There it is. Put in your pipe and smoke it. And I pray to God if I'm wrong. But what one last chance?
I'm not.
Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
him. He should be chasing her.
Here's my question. How then do you suggest making that happen where he chases her again? Because he chased you in the
And she
beginning, right,
loves
Amanda?
himself. She loves herself. She's busy with herself. Let him come to her, however that looks like. You be
Oh,
busy with yourself. You love yourself. You
that's
be
true. I
you
do
don't put
understand
yourself
that.
in situations for it to even snap at you. because you know better. Just mind your and don't be the woman who's, barefoot pregnant in the kitchen and shut up, but be a strong woman and keep to yourself. He'll feel it or he won't. And if he doesn't, then you're on your path anyway, and he's not meant to be
Amen.
yours, if I may say, with all due respect.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's good.
Amanda, are you going to the gym and working out and taking care of your body physically?
No, no, I
Okay.
haven't. Well, I used to a lot, and um, about
Why?
May, I don't know if I'm in a depression or,
Hmm.
but it's,
Okay. I'll just share this, that taking care of yourself, like Jay
Mhm,
said, and putting yourself first physically sometimes changes it mentally and spiritually. Like when you're
Amen.
feeling and even though it feels horrible sometimes, like, oh, I don't
mhm,
feel like it, I'm depressed, I don't want to go to the gym, I don't want to do that. But I found
Just
that,
take a walk. Sorry, just take a walk even. Make it easier. Take a walk.
yeah,
Anything to
well,
move your
whether
body.
but improving your body does improve your mind physically, and
yeah,
taking care of yourself, like eating better,
mhm,
and whether it's, yeah, go for a wake up early and go for a walk every morning and take a nice sunset walk and enjoy the beauty of life and connect with God in that way, because God lives within us. Our body is the temple, and the more we care for that temple, the more closer we feel with him. And then maybe some of these answers will come to you, whether it's to separate or whether it's to stay together. I always encourage, if someone's married, for them to stay together unless there's been cheating or physical abuse. But
mhm,
I do understand what Jay is saying, is you have to love yourself, you have to take care of yourself. And sometimes I've found for myself, when I do that, that it makes, like, oh, I'm just getting up in the gym and I'm doing it every day, it makes me more calm in my spirit. It makes me
mhm.
feel closer to God because I'm taking care of my temple. And I feel like we're cutting Chapin off completely here. He's not adding much. But what's
I'm gonna try to throw in there too, because I feel exactly what you guys have in there, especially Jay's. I would almost put in a just a flip of those first two steps though, and seek out God, get with God, and take care of yourself as God would want you to, get in the things that God would want you to, because there's really the frustration and the issues there that, to me, God's got to get behind and open his heart, open his ears, allow him to even listen and be receivable to you. Because if he's going to close up and do that,
Yeah.
banging on the door, trying to get him to be receptive to that doesn't work with
Mhm.
anything with that too. So it's really a thing that God's got to help get that moving with it. And you've got to take care of
Amen,
yourself,
Chapin.
or you'll
Good
break
job.
yourself
Yep.
down, get in worse plight position for yourself. But then I can also see with Jay with stuff with that too, because when you focus on yourself and you get yourself good, and if he's not keeping his eyes closed and keeping an eye out, he's like, hey, she's got something more going on with her, and I need to open up my eyes and get on here too. So
This dude don't sound like he's interested. I'm sorry. It's not a shutdown. There's a difference, Craig. What you explained is much different. Is a man struggling who's going into a shell and doesn't know. This is not what she's explaining. And if I may say, I think she knows, and that's what she's fighting. Depression is sitting still. What stays in motion is in motion. What isn't, that's what Craig is speaking to, and we all are. You got to move your energy. Trust
Yeah.
me, you don't want to hear my story. It's too ugly, and I don't want to get into it. But these are the things I live. I wake up at 4 fucking 30 in the morning. Why? Because I will not sit still. Where does God exist? Where I bust my ass at the point where I want to give up, and that's for me where God is. But I have to do my
Mhm.
all, and first is I got to love myself. I do not hear you loving yourself, and you cannot wait for him to love you. With all fairness, that is a codependent relationship. That's not healthy.
Mhm.
yeah,
I do agree. I mean, I have become very codependent, just with my living situation. Um, I live in his house. This is a family house that has passed down for 4 generations now, and I feel kind of stuck.
But you're married. You guys are married, no?
I mean, it technically is my house too, but we own the
No, but you're
house.
married. Legally, you're married. You guys
Yes.
are a married couple.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't get this. I'm sorry. I don't hear. I'm sorry. I am sorry if it's aggressive, but I've just been put in a position in my life, and thank God to Craig and Chapin and everyone here. And I will not cheat a soul when I hear something. That's how committed I am, and how much love I operate from my heart.
Well, and hearing some of this, maybe if you start to prepare to be on your own and
Mm-hmm.
save some money independently, stop
Yep.
taking care of his uh like when his responsibilities, like I know it could hurt your credit. Maybe you could work to get off that car loan and start to build your own little savings so that if the time comes, you're prepared and ready to go and feel more independent,
Mm-hmm.
without leaving, but just preparing to leave, and not like Jay said, that's part of loving yourself. I love myself so much. I'm going to, rather than be stuck, I'm going to put myself in a position where I don't have to be stuck. And if he chooses to come along with me and do this, wonderful. And if he doesn't, wonderful too. There is a plan that God has for each of us, and it doesn't negate my feeling of not leaving without cheating or abuse, but um I still think that you'll feel better on the inside being more prepared and disconnecting yourself. Then if he's being irresponsible and dependent on you to pay his car bill when he's the one supposed to be responsible for it, then maybe that's, and even if you suffer a little bad credit, uh you might have more credit with God and less credit with the bank. I think you'll still be fine. And, you could always explain that if you had to get your own apartment or rent a house for you and your daughters, that would be separate and out of a negative situation. That's part of taking care of your temple. Your body is your temple. By exercising, by eating right, and by preparing yourself to be without him might be something that uh, it will just make you feel better. And like Jay said, if he wants to come along for the ride and recommit and open up and be more responsible, wonderful. And if he chooses not to, you won't feel stuck anymore. You'll feel like, okay, I'm going to pray on this and see where I go next.
What's irresponsible? Homeboy set it up, man. I can't believe you guys can't. Like, I don't mean it like that. It's like
In
that's
what
how it's
way?
screaming
What
at
is
me.
that? What does that
He
mean? He set it
she's
up. He's taking
she's the one
advantage of
paying the
her.
car. Why is she paying the car? It's his house. I'm sorry. I'm a son of a lawyer, dude. That sounds like a son of a bitch. Sorry.
It's just, I
Come
feel like he just has every excuse instead of figuring
exactly.
it out why something isn't
No.
getting done.
He set it up. I can smell a narcissist. Come on, Craig. You know what I've been through, man.
No, I know.
This guy ain't dummy. He ain't irresponsible.
He's
If I
taking
may say, and
advantage.
oh, I mean, I'm sharing how I feel. You have me in a vulnerable state. Take it. I'm channeling purely God in
Well,
my form and
that's
capacity,
what
what
he'll
I
say to
feel.
me.
And I hear it. You guys don't hear the consistent pattern. I
What
asked her
what
if
what's
He'll
he
she,
saying?
wait, sorry,
He'll
let me
Let
say
finish
to
that.
me,
Go
I
ahead.
gave you a house that's, I mean, our house is probably worth 400,000. I gave you more than you've ever given me.
Ooh, what is that? He's your husband. He should
And
be. I'm saying, now do you hear it? Now do you hear it? Hello?
I
He's
do
got her
hear it.
beaten
I do
down.
hear it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I hear a similar
Oh,
situation I was
oh,
in, and I had to get out of it, and I have been better since I've been out of it. But I do agree with Craig
amen.
about, yeah, I agree with y'all about, yeah, I agree about preparing and finding a way out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I do have my own savings on the side. I have a lot actually.
that's
But
good.
Good.
I would have, this is my first marriage. I was in my 30s before I got married. I would have never gotten married if I didn't think it was forever.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And this guy is not committed. How do you have your own separate? Do you hear? To have a healthy spiritual relationship, you have to have communication, trust,
Come here.
and
Come here.
respect. He's not communicating. He ain't showing trust by keeping his own money, and she's paying his car, but it's his house, and he's done. And where's the respect? The guy doesn't talk
Right.
nice to her. She's a good woman. Listen to her. She's a good
Yeah.
woman. She needs to be loved. I'm sorry. Like, I'll smack this guy. You bring him to me, I'll smack him.
Well, I think that's part of it too. His parents died when he was younger. I mean, he
I'm sorry.
does not
I'm
have a lot of
sorry.
family. He has no one to kind of hold him accountable or to give him advice. And
How old is he?
50, he just turned 50.
For real? I expect you're playing like a 30-year-old or something like this. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I come from a different world. I come from a different cloth, and I'm sure Chapin and Craig can echo. Being a man to me is I don't feel the integrity at all, if I may say. You're a good woman and you brought here for a reason, and I'm sharing what I'm feeling. You can take it as you feel it or sense it, but I am listening very carefully to you, but more importantly, I'm feeling you. And when I asked you about cheating, because I know women well, and thank God, despite what the mother of my children, this evil woman says, I know damn well who I am, and I know my instincts. And I hear you're a good woman, and I hear a man pushing you around, and you're not loving yourself. And Craig, I agree with you. Either way, you have to so loving yourself looks like putting yourself in a position of power, first of all. Second of all, you ain't living for him. Fuck him. I'm sorry if I say it like that, but fuck him. You got grow some strength, and like, you're a big girl, you're spiritual, you're a good woman, most of all. And this guy, like, sorry, like I have a feeling that you're gonna finally go fuck him and smack his face and step on.
Well, I don't want to do that.
Seriously.
I was
I
just
don't
Well,
want
I
to go to
mean,
hopefully
jail.
not physically. Yeah,
No,
hopefully
I
no,
don't
not
not
want to go to
physically.
physically,
jail.
but energetically, and finally bring your power back, because this guy's
Yeah.
holding you down. You're a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
You need to spread your wings, honey.
Well, that's where I'll go with some of that too. I think there's good worth in being the individual and thinking about self, and then making yourself better in that position, so he doesn't have like the feelings like, hey, all she's relying on me for everything and all of this. When he sees that she's got
She's
personal
the
worth,
one paying for
doesn't
everything, though. That's the irony. Sorry to interrupt. She's the one paying.
yeah. Well,
Well,
it sounds like a lot of
Well, I
that.
mean, I don't pay for everything, but a
What?
lot.
See, I mean, come on, man. He's got a great woman. Listen, let's talk now spiritually about
Okay.
a
I,
balance. A
I was
woman's
thinking,
energy is essential, and he's not even embracing and looking for him. Okay,
Yeah. So true.
we all have childhood injuries, we all have our wounds, but he don't sound like the guy who's even worthy of you, if I may say. You're a good woman.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
about how when God said that women are made as a helpmate, and He won't even allow her to be one,
No, he's not
and
even,
and
and
so
she, yeah,
he's doing an
sorry.
injustice to himself. And because yeah, you do sound real wise and sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I hear excuses every time. No way. No way. Here's my first suggestion. Stop prioritizing him. God is in you prioritizing yourself. You are a spiritual woman, and that energy is so needed, and you can't shine if you're busy with his crap.
Amen.
all right, let's think about somewhere in the Bible where there is a troubled marriage, and how can you guys think of somewhere where there's
I'd rather, if I may say, I'm sorry, I'd rather shift it to Friday night. We welcome the bride of Shabbat. Why do we welcome the bride of Shabbat? Because that feminine energy, without it, we can't even connect to the light of God coming down on us. What does that mean? The wholeness of masculine and feminine, whether it's man or woman, but obviously woman carries that tremendous power. And if I may say, it's been missing, and it's not balanced globally. And I hear it
right.
with this woman. So it's, it's like, it's a man.
So Jay,
Yeah.
Why does the woman light the candles on Friday
So I
night?
was going to finish. So again, it is that when they Eshed Chayil is they welcome the Neshama, which is again we started speaking about surrounding light. So you can envision any way you want to
Hmm.
welcome that surrounding light. The candles, now that's different. Let's not go there. It's going to get too technical, but it's a manifestation of that energy. You have everything has to have a physical manifestation. It can't just be in a spiritual realm.
But isn't it the woman who brings light to the family, and that's why we have the woman light the candles on Shabbat?
Yeah, absolutely. The woman
And,
of the house, and but the man has to make the space in his
hmm.
heart for her to have what a servant. Fuck that. A woman's the leader. I come from a Jewish
Yeah.
world, man. I come from strong fucking women. I come from a matriarchal society where that strength is in the beauty and the love and the kindness and the gentleness, and it's so powerful. And that's how I see it.
And what about the Ezer Kenegdo, the helper that God gave us as a man?
What helper? What do you mean?
It says Eve was called the helper. Oh,
Yeah.
God gave him a helper.
Oh, don't give me all that shit. I'm sorry. This is where you and I will break. The woman is far too powerful and has been downplayed for way too long. And all this helper and servant. And I'm sorry, that's where I disconnect. And I
Well,
could
and I
start
think
telling
we're
you
supposed,
different where it shows, you
no,
know?
no, we're supposed to be there for them, and they're supposed to be there for us. So,
Yeah, you guys are servants
Lord,
for
my
each
friend.
other.
yeah, and it has to be,
Why
Jesus
servant?
was a servant.
How about the energy of the desire to want to connect, to want to elevate each other, to realize that there's three things in a marriage. There's me, you, but more importantly, the energy of the marriage with that now the lighting of the candles, the neshama, it's even bigger than both of you. And you're bigger soul than he is. You're gonna leave this guy behind. You already are. And that's why he has his manipulation through control to hold her down. You got
okay.
to break free of that.
Do you guys know what the Shema is, Amanda and Victoria?
No.
Nope.
Why don't you explain what the Shema is?
Sorry. So we are made of different elements, and we have what's called the neshama. There's different elements. So again, it's not about Judaism, and here's the hard part. It's there was left to spiritual tools. Religion was never the intention. So I'm going to say that outwardly. So in their essence, um, we are made of different parts of energy. Neshama is our soul. Nefesh, there's all these different levels to our
Mm.
soul, okay? Spiritually, we start with the level of what they call Keter, which I know Chapin understands, right? So we were left, so the crown all the way down to what they call Malchut. Malchut is the physical level. Well, guess what? Man is only potential. Without woman, he can't manifest shit. So screw a servant. We can't
Wow,
manifest anything.
that's cool.
So now let me finish explaining. So man only lives and can connect in the potential realms, right, Chapin? Zarenpin, all the way. So he can only connect literally, think of it like a drip. He can't drip. His drip won't end up in being any honey for anything unless there's something there to manifest it. That's what's
Mm.
called the Malchut level, the physical level, right? And women are energetically Malhut. Men, we're called Zarin Pin. Zarin Pin is potential if you want to make it simple. Does that help answer a question and give guidance, Craig, or was that
Yeah,
too
well, and
far
you're talking about
fetched?
Neshama. I was thinking about the Shema, which is to listen, and the Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, is that there's one God,
Mm,
that
mhm.
we only have one God, and one it goes into an Exodus in the Shema, which is the letter. We have the shin on our mezuzah
Yeah,
outside of our house.
you're getting too technical. That's why I stayed away.
Well,
That
here's
becomes
here
religious, I hear. Yeah.
Right, but here's what the point is that we're supposed to keep God in our heart and teach it to our children as we wake, as we
Amen.
walk, as
Amen.
we eat,
Amen.
and that
Yeah.
really putting God first in our mind, our heart, and our soul is what is our command, is our like the main thing that we're supposed to do is put that first, and that's why we have the mezuzah in our door. So whenever we come in and come out of our house, we're always reminded of our commandments and of the fact that as parents and as people, we're supposed to keep God in our mind, our heart, and our soul. And so
That sounds very nice, but if you really remember, I am educated in halacha, and that is the furthest from really what a mezuzah is, if I may say respectfully.
then say,
So
believe me,
that's
tell
why I
me.
stayed away from it. Yeah.
Okay,
So
then
that let's not go there because I think it's more important.
no,
I
but
think
that's
what's
more
relevant.
biblical. And one of the things we're doing is a Bible study. So go ahead and say
What
something
is
that
what is biblical?
the Shema in Exodus that we're supposed to when
I
we
think that
eat.
the levels of the soul are more biblical and deeper. And I think to discuss the true essence of the true intention of God to bring us together as man and woman, I think that's very biblical and very powerful, if I may say. Am I the only
Maybe
one
both of
or?
them are just as powerful as each other, because if it's in the Bible, that means if it's in the Bible, that means it's just as important as
Fine, the
anything else.
doorposts. Fine, the doorposts are the opening. Anytime you have, so God has a name, Yud K Vav K. You have, so now we have the number 4. You're gonna make me go there, Craig. You kept poking me. I tried to nicely. And Chapin is going, dude, I'm gonna talk to this guy because you didn't realize I know all this shit. I love you, bro. We can talk. Now you get who I am. So there's 4, right? Yud K Vav K is the letter of God. We don't say there's a certain name. We don't say only in a prayer. Okay. So why there's a post in our home. So any place there's an opening, the idea is you are protected by the letters, and there is a very specific parchment, and the mezuzah is turned in a very specific way, and it has to be examined. So it's almost a little mini piece of
Wow,
Torah stuck on your door.
that's
And
cool.
it is when you enter. Now, there is what Craig said isn't wrong, but that's how people use it. It doesn't mean that was what the halacha, the rule is. So the rule is, why do we put it on every single? So when you go into a religious person's house, you will literally accept the bathroom because the bathroom is negative energy. There is no
Right.
mezuzah. So you will see in big houses like 15, 20 mezuzahs in any
Hmm.
entrance. And it's, yes, you could say it's to make the opening for God. And I will look it up again, but you have to put it on the post to make the protection, and you kiss it because you bring the neshama. There's the neshama. You bring the level of the soul of God into each and everyone's home, but you have to be protected and take the action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone else? Craig, did I miss? Are you
No,
going,
no,
what
but
the fuck am I saying?
not at all. I'm right there with you. The one point is I just want to make sure that people understand the Yud Hey Vav Hey is what's translated sometimes as Adonai or Lord, and that's where we get the English
Thank you.
word
Thank you. Thank
Jehovah.
you.
And
And
the
that's so deep. Yeah.
and each of those letters actually has significance. Like the Yud is the right hand of God. The Hey is behold a
Well, the Yud
son.
is the smallest letter. Hold on. The Yud
Yes,
is the
it is.
smallest letter. You
Like
want to
a
go
yacht
there?
or a
Why?
tittle.
Why
Yes.
did? So God, when God, all the letters came to God and asked to be first, and we know the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet
It's
is Aleph.
Olive, right?
But what did God say? Now let's talk biblical. What did God choose?
What
Bet. Bet. Bet in the Hebrew letter is
is
B.
how, and it
Is
means
is
house.
brach is yo, let me finish. Is
Okay.
blessing. Blessing. So it is goes to translate that everywhere we go, we take God's blessing with us, and we have physical tools to remind us and to connect to. How's that to put in your pipe and smoke it?
I love
Okay, well,
that.
let's go ahead, Victoria.
Oh, I would like to just know what that is. I would like to have one on my doors. Because it really is good to have a reminder like that, and to have an action, because we are the hands and feet of God. And if we're not taking responsibility, then we're just kind of living I mean, not vicariously, but just kind of living like, I don't know. Uh,
Where do you
It,
live? What
I
part of the
live
okay.
in
world do you
Omaha,
live?
Nebraska. I live in the
Okay.
United
I
States.
will. Yeah, you can Google. I think I even have a friend here. So in order to so now here's the key. It has to be kosher. We use the word kosher a lot. Let's think of it has to have it has to have very, 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 very specific rules. Okay. Now you want to go deeper. There's a man called a scribe who will write it. And now for this to be kosher, there are very specific rules for him to follow through the whole process. And if any one of them is broken, if any one of the letters isn't whole, everything is gone, which is again biblical, which shows that every piece makes us whole, and one piece can be missing, and all of us aren't we're not whole. And that's again where the space for God is, again, in the
Oh,
Torah. Yeah, the spirit. This is not. I've been very trained in Torah, so I can break it down spiritually, and I'll be met against a lot of argument, and you have to go into like fluffing your chest. But trust me, what I say, and Craig knows he's much smarter and more well educated than I. But spiritually, that's my angle that I've really connected to.
Okay, I'll say
yeah,
one thing
that's
real quickly.
actually. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, in Omaha, Nebraska, there's a store called Chabad Utica Boutique,
Chabad is the best, the
Can
best.
and
you
it
send that to me?
yep, it's on 100. I'll give you the address right now. It's on
Okay, let me.
1866 South
Hold on.
120th Street in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, one second. I don't have
1860,
it.
1866 South 120th Street, Omaha, Nebraska. Is that
1860.
near you?
Uh, Say it again. 1866 South what?
120th Street in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's called Chabad
You like that
Judica
shit, Chapin?
Boutique.
It is a little bit far away. It's pretty far away, but
Let
All
me
right,
inject.
which
I
Let
would
me
love
which
to.
inject.
I would definitely
Sorry,
take.
sorry. Let me interrupt. I'm in Israel. Stop, please. Stop. I'm in Israel. So I'm at the source, literally. I'll figure it out because it has to be very, you can't put it in a world that's way, because I'm sorry to tell you, there's a lot of unholy Jews, and it has to be very energetically. If it is not complete and done properly, I don't want her to even be put in that position. So
Yeah, I
give me a
appreciate that.
minute. Give me a minute because it's a parchment that is probably 4 inches, but it is literally a piece of scroll of Torah. So the man who writes it literally has to be connected. He has to do a spiritual bath called a mikveh. He can't speak, and he has to write in very specific. I mean, you have to understand Jewish law is so methodically specific. It's so beautiful. That's why we have Nobel Prizes, because it trains the brain to almost become so mathematic. It's so scientific. We
You
really
know
want to
what?
go biblical. We can go really deep.
I totally agree and can understand what you're saying because in the Torah, God really has a lot of specific instructions about like even building the temple. You know, you had to
Yeah.
do it a certain
The
way or it wouldn't
measurements.
be,
Exactly. The
yeah,
measurements.
or
Exactly.
even, yeah, or even like the sacrifices, how they had to be
Yeah.
done,
Yeah.
or how you had to be,
I,
how you
yeah.
had to clean yourself. But anyways, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
for
what the
sure.
Yeah.
mikvah
But
is
here,
about.
yeah. Um, The mikveh, yeah, well, that's different because for men and women, it's different. And that's why I'm very hesitant and I slow it down, Craig, because it gets very mixed in Judaism and really the meaning of spirituality. And so, anyway, I want to see if I might be able to help. So let's
Okay.
pause that a minute because all the rules and obviously the headquarters of rabbi is here.
Yeah, for real, you're in the
and
spot.
and imagine that I'm part of the group and I'm here. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
blessing. It's very blessed.
yeah.
Very much
Uh,
blessed.
I'm blessed and we're blessed.
Yeah, we're
And
all
I
blessed.
didn't mean to be so strong, but I felt something really strong for Amanda, and she's a really beautiful soul. And I ask specific questions, and I don't connect to who she is and what I hear, meaning her spiritual path and where God is lies in her setting herself free and trusting herself. And that's what I feel.
Well,
I appreciate all the wisdom and knowledge and I'm so glad that I met Craig, and I mean, he'll tell
Me
you,
too.
like,
That's why I'm here.
we had such a beautiful conversation, and I knew, like, he was meant to be put in my life at that exact moment for whatever reason it was.
And what I'll say something interesting and kind of funny too. I landed in Pittsburgh. I was supposed to have a friend pick me up and he flaked, so I had to call Uber, and Amanda was my Uber driver to drive me from Pittsburgh to
No
Wheeling.
fucking way. No
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and I'm
No, see,
trying to
okay.
get
You talk about how God works. Well, there you
Yeah.
fucking go.
well,
There's
and then
God. But you have to make the space and it manifests through us. And Chapin and you and I can talk big time. I could tell, like, you know, because I'd love to hear your insights, man, honestly.
um and guys, I don't you guys can keep going, but I do have to get going because we have an
Yeah.
appointment to go look at a car. I don't own a car right now, and I have a rental car for only a couple days. So we're going to go look at a car this morning, and
Okay.
I have to get going
Nice.
to that. But I hope you guys
Thanks, Craig.
continue.
Thanks,
It's
Craig.
my pleasure. I want to add one last thing, that each of the Hebrew letters actually have a picture that go with it. The Aleph is the picture of the ox, and the Bet is a picture of a house, and that's why for father we say Abba, which is the strong man of the house, and the letter Nun is a picture of a seed, and so we say Ben for the son of the house. He's the Nun, or the seed of the house, and that each of these
This is what you learned, or where did you learn that? Sorry to
the,
interrupt you.
okay, well, this is from Paleo Hebrew, where the original Hebrew came from. The Hebrew that we have today, the Hebrew alphabet,
Right.
comes
Wow.
from our time
You're so
in
fucking smart.
Babylon, and they
Right.
reconfigured the letters, but you can still see the original letters, and
Right.
even
Right.
Greek and Latin are transliterated, or letters that come from, that's why they call it the alphabet, is because they were copying the Hebrew letters,
Hello?
and the
Hello?
Greeks turned them in different directions, but even the letter A still comes from the original picture of the ox head, and it was just turned upside
Interesting.
down. That's why if you turn a letter A upside down, it looks like
I've heard differently about all of them. That's why I was asking. And then I thought the original was Sanskrit, and then it became Hebrew.
no, it was
And that's where
created.
the Torah scrolls are from the desert and the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Right, but it came from, if you look at the history, and it came from Moses, who gave the alphabet to the people, and the only letter that's the same in both Egyptian hieroglyphs and Hebrew hieroglyphs, and you call it hieroglyphs because it's a pictorial alphabet, is the letter Hey, which means behold a sun. The same sound and letter is both in the Egyptian hieroglyph and in the Hebrew, and
Interesting.
it wasn't discovered until it wasn't discovered until 1996, when they realized that there was all these stones throughout the Sinai desert that had the alphabet scrolled onto them, pictured onto them. And you can Google this, look it up. There's a great teacher named Brennan, who's a Christian guy out of Missouri, who wanted to know the Hebrew scriptures in the original Hebrew. And so he taught himself Hebrew, studied Hebrew for years. And then in 1996, when they discovered the pictorial alphabet, he got more into it. And what's very interesting is that probably under the time of Solomon, when they were still using Paleo Hebrew, there is a 10 Commandments in New Mexico that was over a fort. The stone's fallen, but I've gone there. It's called Los Lunas Rocks. And it's very interesting because it talks about how God set us free from Egypt and gave us these commandments, and then it gives the whole 10 commandments in the United States of America, in New Mexico, in Paleo Hebrew. So just
Shut the
like
fuck up. Wait a second. Shut the fuck up. What'd you just say?
it was discovered in 1851, and they thought it was Cherokee, but the Cherokee said, no, this isn't our
It
language.
was in
And
the United States?
it still is. I've been and visited
Okay,
before.
so
I
then
made a
there you
video
go. Here
about
you
it.
go. Here you go, Chapin. The missing tribe, and there you go. And let's not go there because that'll become very fucking
Well, I don't know if it's a
that'll
missing tribe, but I know that
uh
Solomon sent out people to go find uh, minerals and precious metals throughout the whole
there
world, and that
Is
we
nowhere in the world it talks about any other land, and especially the United States. It didn't even fucking exist.
right. Well, it wasn't the United States at the time. Some people called it Turtle Island, but the fact is that if you look up Los Lunas Rocks, you'll see the Paleo Hebrew 10 Commandments in New Mexico, and I've been there. What's interesting is it's a giant valley with one little mesa or rock protruding out in the center where you would be an excellent fort because you could see people coming for miles and miles away. It's surrounded by rivers nearby so they could get water, and it would be an ideal place to have a home base in that desert area. And it was a very interesting, cool place to go. And I think that the Jewish people in the state of Israel, or people who care about biblical history, should make this a real monument and protect it. But unfortunately, it's not.
I've never even
And
heard of it. I didn't even know of it. I thought I was educated. That's why I'm like, I don't know
yeah,
shit.
no, you can go Google this. And the Paleo Hebrew alphabet
You're so fucking
is,
smart, man. Thank you.
well, I
Thank
just
you.
love God so much that whenever I find things that
You're
are
just
interesting
smart. You
like
never
this,
take a
yeah.
compliment. You're fucking smart. You
All
are
right, thanks,
smart. You
man.
remember shit.
Anyways, I got to get going, you guys. I love you all, and I
I'll
appreciate.
bounce too. Chapin, if you want to chat, because I'm
I'm gonna
curious
bounce
of the
too.
depth of how far you've gone with this whole
Well,
subject.
and Amanda, I really pray that no matter what happens, that like Jay said, that you learn to love yourself a little more and feel confident in your connection with God and grow stronger in your relationship with God. And hopefully it can restore your marriage. But if it doesn't, I just want to let you know that we care about you, and I'm glad that you came today, and hopefully
Thank you. Me
we'll
too.
see you again to continue these conversations.
So we
Sounds
can
good.
close
Yeah.
it out here. I think
Go
everybody's
ahead.
muted.
Let's say say a prayer to finish it up. Go ahead, Chapin.
Absolutely. Dear Almighty Yahweh, thank you for the blessings you give us here today. Thank you for helping us seek you out and know the knowledgeable things that you give us. May we be blessed in seeking out the knowledge that you want us to have and seeking out your ways. Help us be strong for you and strong for ourselves, and help those around us listen and tend follow what we want to let them know. And may everybody be blessed on their journey through the upcoming week and hold you in their heart and in
How did
their
I get
spirit.
lost?
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
Oh, I'm back.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys too for coming, and I'm sorry that I'm the one ending it, but I really appreciate all your guys' time and being here together.
Is
No
our
worries. It's that
information
time.
available? Amanda,
In
if you
what
want to reach out or whoever, I'm always available and I'm happy to, I make myself available if someone
and
wants to reach out or
we're all
yeah.
on WhatsApp. What I'll do is I'll connect you with Amanda's info on
Oh,
WhatsApp,
we're
and
on the
I'll give you
group. We're on the
yeah,
no,